Hey everyone, welcome back to 99 Bitcoins. In this video, I want to talk about a Pepe price prediction and how a chart signal right now could send Pepe flying. We'll talk about that. As always, guys, please remember that none of this is financial advice. Make sure that you do your research and due diligence before doing anything financial. But let's get down into it and let's take a dive into what Pepe is doing on the today, as well as we will dive into the crypto bubbles. And right now, you can see Pepe ranking still 34th in that top 35. We are down into that fifth zero category, down 4.4% on the day. And it's been on a little bit of a landslide as we have been down over 10% over the last 30 days as well. But what I've been doing with Pepe personally is just kind of waiting. I talk about this a lot. When we do get that fifth zero added to the price of Pepe, that's when I look to take advantage. And for me personally, just a very stable support as we've always bounced off of that level and never really going quite frankly below the 509 too much. That's when I look to add Pepe, because if we do have a nice kind of sudden breakout that we've had numerous amount of times over the last 3 months and beyond, as I want to change the time frame here, you can see kind of what I'm looking at. It's happened numerous times before. Okay, and this is what we're talking about. We hit that fifth zero, and then all of a sudden, essentially, doubling back in the May month, and then even little bit less of an example, but still one that we want to talk about as we do look into July. That's where Pepe was able to get over 60% gains in just a very short window, less than 3 weeks. And it's something where a lot of times when we do break down below that 509 or at 5401 into the 509 territory, that's when Pepe does seem to bounce off very nicely off of that support. Okay, just my thoughts. I'll never tell you to buy or sell crypto, but I wanted to share with you guys my thoughts on the matter. And before we get going into this article, I will tell you about a pre-sale ongoing right now. This is Pepe Node. Okay, right now you can buy Pepe Node for a 0.001 price level, and this countdown does continue. That is before the next price increase. Okay, so it's a very interesting crypto. It's a mine to earn meme coin based on the Pepe narrative. If you want to get started and join this pre-sale, you connect with a Best Wallet, Wallet Connect, MetaMask, and or a Base Wallet. If you don't have a Best Wallet, there will be a link down below in the description to obtain one, download from the iOS and or Google Play Store. Okay, have raised over $1.7 million currently in their pre-sale. I just wanted to shed some light on it for those of you that do not know. If you do want to get involved, make sure you treat them as such. Not long-term holds for me personally. These are just meme coin pre-sales I look to get into, get out, and then move on to the next one. So if you do want to explore this, I do recommend check out the audit, check out the white paper, do your due diligence, and remember that none of this is financial advice. Okay. But back into what we came here to talk about, and the link will be down below for Pepe Node once again. Okay. But what we wanted to talk about is the price prediction that someone has talking about a triangle breakout, and if we will see Pepe go flying. It's been a very volatile week. We've talked about over 10% in losses. And now, as the price is currently more so under pressure, this is where we talked about, and I'm going to reiterate the stance at that horizontal support zone around 509, forming a textbook triangle pattern on the chart. Now, I don't use TA as my end all be all. It's more so a tie break. If I am going to make a move, I devote a lot of that to basically my trading indicator as well as my intuition from trading crypto from a numerous amount of time. But this is something where we look into the technical analysis here as the current trend. Pepe still remains in consolidation, okay, making lower highs, a descending trend line like we talked about, and the 50 and 200-day SMAs, which are key, sitting near that 401 and 40104. These are very critical resistance points that if we do break out, like we talked about numerous times before, we have seen a bullish reversal, although not sustained, but in a 3-week time frame, that's where Pepe does seemingly look to go on a run more times than not. So that's where we're at. I think that the decreasing volume that we've also seen does precede volatility spikes. So if we do see what they would call a coiling spring setup, that's where descending triangle would look to see that boost in the near future. Okay, so if we do get a significant move, I don't think it'll be anything crazy where we're going to see 300x or 300% 3 times where we're at right here right now. But would not shock me whatsoever if Pepe did not go back up to 4015, 4017, especially with Ethereum showing a lot of strength right now. And also Bitcoin's cooldown is setting the stage as it is retraced back to 123,000. So we all know how that kind of works, right? The capital comes out of Bitcoin into altcoins, into Ethereum, into meme coins. That's something where the volatility that Pepe does have now amplifies the direction that Bitcoin is showing. So once Bitcoin does stabilize, we could see a breakout for Pepe based on this analysis. Okay, so that's pretty much it. These key levels are exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't even look at this before I told you guys my chart analysis. Just basically playing off of how I feel and how I've been trading Pepe for me personally. Okay, so what happens next? Unfortunately, nobody knows that. That is a crystal ball. We don't have that in crypto. But the bullish scenario is that we would break out of this triangle, and then also we would start flying towards that 4013, 4014, 4015. Okay, I don't foresee anything past that, but for me personally, anytime that Pepe is trading it with a fifth zero or below, that's kind of where we look to potentially add to our positions in times of basically support, and when we do see a lot of that volatility, and it's just basically a huge support level for Pepe that I think is a not a floor, but a very low entry if you were going to add more Pepe to your bag. Okay. So the bottom line is the triangle formation for Pepe is a make or break moment after that 8% dip that we saw this week, more so 11% actually right now. The stage is set. Bitcoin is showing consolidation after faltering. So if we do see some of those, some of that capital flow back into memes, into alts, I think Pepe at a very low, reasonable price is something worth talking about. So that's why I made this video for you guys today. All right. So that's what I got. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you haven't checked out the link down below for Pepe Node, please do so now. And I'll leave you with that. Enjoy it. And make sure you subscribe here to 99 Bitcoins. And we'll talk to you all in the next video. Cheers.